Hello learners, our lecture is on quality assurance. This video is for the first week, third video. In this, we are going to learn about describe the quality assurance, explain quality audit and discuss types of audits and explain quality survey and describe the product audit. Quality assurance. Learners, till now you had learned about quality inspection, quality control, then now you have to understand quality assurance. Quality assurance refer to protection of a product performance under actual conditions. Quality is fitness for use. To derive the best performance of a product, it must be used only as stated. Thus, it is essential to recognize the early warning of trouble ahead. Learners, with quality assurance, the management makes available to the customer the proof and product is fit for use. Thus, quality assurance is the activity of providing the evidence needed to establish confidence that quality function is being performed. This type of evidence differs widely according to the persons requiring the assurance and the nature of product. Actually, this meaning that any product we are going to manufacture in the manufacturing process, it needs the various standards, or these standards are following or not. The quality assurance assures these processes. Is this machining process is going according to the design standards or not? This is the function of a quality assurance. As an example, freshness of a vegetable in the market is attained through direct sensory examination. What is this? Any vegetable which has to be, is it fresh or not, which can be examined through sensors. By establishing sensor at various places, it moves from the various processes, and that is one method of assuring the quality. In the case of packaged items, the evidence must be supplemented by laboratory testing. The expiry date in tinned products, cosmetics and medicines is mentioned after laboratory inspection. Learners, I hope you have any product you have seen, you are going to buy. So sometimes even in the milk every day you will check that when it was manufactured and what is the expiry date. So like those, this will assure you to safety as well as is it good or not. So depending upon the variety of items, suppose it is a perishable item or it has to be consumed, so that safety and quality is very much to be checked. So for that, such type of products like tinned products, so the manufacturing date will be mentioned and the expiry date will also be mentioned after the laboratory testings. That is the one important aspect of a quality assurance. Nowadays, I think recently the Coronil one product was it was not launched. They are going to launch by the Patanjali. So in that they have everybody asking about, is it tested or not. So if it is tested, what are the tests carried out? All those should be mentioned on that product itself. So such type of things will be taken place through this quality assurance, assuring the quality of proofs, or you can say the documentation. All those things comes under this quality assurance. For long life products, for example, favorable environment conditions must be stated. The manager can assure quality performance if he has the answer to the following question. Is the product safe? Are we complying with legal requirements? Is product performance within warranted life period? Is the product marketable? All these questions will arise to the manager so that he can check each and every place the process is going according to the design standards or not. Then only he can say that yes, my product is safe and it is meeting the legal requirements, and its performance also very good, and after even warranty period also is, and also you can say that the product can be marketable. Confidently you can say that the product is marketable. The ISO 8402 define quality assurance as all those planned and systematic actions necessary to provide adequate confidence that a product or service will satisfy given requirements for quality. And the quality assurance is based upon a productive approach rather than a reactive approach. It emphasizes upon the failure prevention rather than failure detection. In the quality control, what they say is that after production it will check all the dimension and it will separate the good ones and bad ones, like that. So that is in the quality control. But quality assurance, it works for the prevention of failures. That is the difference between the quality control and quality assurance. It's an organization-wide policy. It hinges upon proper planning, risk assessment, control, and consistency in the way of working. It identifies processes which are critical to quality of final product or service. These activities are subjected to systematic controls based upon documented procedures. Here I would like to give an example. Suppose a product is going to be manufactured, a watch or a part of a watch is manufacturing in a manufacturing industry, watch manufacturing industry. There are different processes are there. Suppose a turning operation has to be carried out on particular machine. What is that machine? That machine name, what is the operation name, who is the operator have to perform, and what are the dimension he has to achieve, and what are the tools, what are the everything, what are the requirements for a raw material. All those things will be mentioned and fixed at the machine chart. So there you can see and one can perform all those jobs. Then manager comes and he can check, yes, all checkpoints that he will check, and then he assures that. That is the assurance process. The quality assurance is based upon following three principles. What are those three principles? One, quality is organization-wide. Each functional department and activity must be assigned specific quality-related responsibilities. And second one, right first time, do it first time, failure prevention rather than failure detection. Then third one is proper communication and cooperation. The effective involvement of all people. By doing proper communication and cooperation, the effective involvement of all people, the people can know that what he has to do, what is his role, what he has to produce today, what are the tools he has to utilize, what the drawings he has to achieve, what is the design standards he has to achieve. So all those things can be easily communicated, easily understandable through effective communication process. Quality assurance can be achieved in an organization by developing, operating, and maintaining a well-documented quality system. So here, every operation or every shop floor, it needs a quality system for particular operation or total that shop floor. So because of that, everybody can understand what is his role, how to achieve his quality. All those things he can learn so that he can perform correctly. Now we shall discuss three forms of company practiced quality assurance used to provide evidence. What are those? These are three types. One is quality audit, quality survey, second, and third one is product audit. What is quality audit? A quality audit is an independent review conducted to compare some aspects of quality performance with a standard for that performance. An independent audit provides an unbiased picture of a performance. Here I would like to explain the thing. Suppose standards are given to particular product. So after producing that product, is it performed through all the processes designed according to the design standards? So is it gone through all the processes or any process is missing? So that should be identified through this quality audit process. The usual purpose of quality audits is to provide independent assurance that plans for attaining quality are such that if followed, intended quality will in fact be attained. Products are fit and safe for use. Laws and regulations are being followed. Data provide accurate and adequate information on quality to all concerned. The purpose of an audit is valuable to the organization because it covers various aspects, that is, policies and procedures, operating, quality control, and administration. The operating effectiveness involving records, interpretations, corrective actions, equipment control, interdepartmental coordination, assessment of product quality. The system's effectiveness covering storage and handling practices. So storage should be according to the design standards and handling practices also. All these things to be followed according to the design standards. Field complaints and corrective actions, tools and gauges control. So here in the tools and gauges control will take place through calibration of tools and calibration of machines. Then product design changes. So if any design is taking place, so immediately it should be communicated to each and every person who is involving in developing that product. The types of quality audit. The various types of audits generally carried out are the adequacy audit, the second one is a compliance audit, third one is an external audit, fourth one is extrinsic audit, and fifth one is internal audit. First, the adequacy audit. It is called as management audit. It determines the extent to which the documented system represented in the quality manual and associated proceedings, work instructions, forms adequately meets the requirements of the standards. The compliance audit. It is carried out to establish a extent to which the documented system is implemented and observed by the workforce. An external audit. External audit is carried out by the organizations or another with which the organization has either entered into contract for sale of goods or services. It may be of adequacy and or compliance audit. It is also known as second party quality audit. This type of audits takes place between suppliers and purchasing organizations. Actually, it is performed by purchasing company upon suppliers company to assure quality of raw material supply. These audits will be performed by trained personnel of the purchasing company on supplier processes to get the 100% good quality raw materials or goods from the suppliers. Here I would like to explain you better. So suppose a company A is purchasing goods from company B. So there they will go on agreement that the B company is following all the quality processes so that the A company can go to B company and take the audit report and conduct the audit performance, so that they can come under the agreement and they can produce according to the A company requirement. B company will produce and 100% quality products will be supplied to the company A. That is the importance of the external audit. And intrinsic audit. This is an external audit carried out by an independent third party that may be accredited using a national or international standard such as ISO 9000 series to provide assurance on the effectiveness of the quality systems. This kind of audit is performed by trained and certified ISO 9000 agencies on the companies seeking ISO 9000 certification. Here I would like to explain you that here one can hire a consultancy, or it can also be said that a third party auditing. Here, so a company A wants a ISO 9000 certificate. So for that they go for a separate company. They can audit the company's processes, quality processes, so that they get the, if they comply with the standards, they can get the ISO 9000 certification. So these agencies, they have the certification capabilities or certification recognition. So like Indian Quality Standards or Indian Standards Bureau, such type of agencies will give the ISO 9000 certification to the companies they want ISO certification. Then internal audit. The internal audit, it is the audit carried out by the company on its own quality systems. The purpose is to give assurance to the management that its quality system is effectively achieving the planned quality objectives. These audits are carried out by the organization's own staff, provided that they are independent of the system being audited or by an outside agency. This is internal audit is very much required where the manufacturing process is going in a for a particular number of operations may be less. For that, the internal audit will be conducted in every 6 months or like that by the internal people, but from the other departments, or like that the internal audit can take place. When a company conducts audits on its own quality systems using its own trained staff or sometimes use consultants is known as internal audit. It is important that the trained staff should not have any bias against the department being audited. Reasons for quality audit. To determine if in-house field personnel are following standard operating procedures correctly or not. To determine if there are any deficiencies in how SOPs have been prepared and how best to correct field practices are there. To determine if there are any misunderstandings by field personnel regarding expectations of SOPs. An engineering company quality audit. This is an example of case study. To examine whether the design meets the functional requirements completely or design specifications are clear without ambiguity. To examine the design fulfills the customer requirements. To examine whether the manufacturing specification conforms to the functional design specifications. The manufacturing specifications are complete and clear. C. To examine customer quality complaints, the adequacy of corrective actions taken by the company. D. To examine activities in shop floor, the adequacy of gauges and test equipments used, calibration of testing equipment, completeness and sequence of performance of inspection procedures, data collection systems and actions taken place. So quality auditing steps, how the quality auditing takes place. The audit inspection, then audit planning, then audit implementation, then audit reporting. The audit initiation. The basic right to conduct audits is derived from the charter which has been approved by upper management. A specific audit is initiated on request of the manager. Quality audit planning. Element of plan must include definition of scope and objective of audit, identification of areas to be audited and auditors, a schedule including expected start and completion date, standard and audit documentations. In all, the plan should be prepared to inform the manager of activity and the auditors regarding details. Quality audit implementation. This phase involves collection, analysis and evaluation of factual information and drawing of conclusions from these facts. Then last one is quality audit reporting. After the audit report is prepared. The report is viewed as a credible if it is balanced in reporting and depersonalized. A common criticism to the audit report is the tendency for the report to emphasize deficiencies that are minor in nature. A balanced report must determine the impact of deficiencies on activities. The next one is quality survey. The quality survey enables the managers of a company to assess the quality of products and or services of a company by viewing the process from different perspectives. A series of investigations are being carried out by full-time staff specialists who distribute forms and handouts to the customers or the employees and the reasonable reports. The quality surveys are very common in production as well as in service sector. A quality survey goes further than discovering discrepancies as an auditing process. A good survey should discover opportunities and unexpected threats. The quality survey. A quality survey allows to understand where quality improvement efforts are succeeding. Involves employees in quality improvement efforts from the beginning of the process. Pinpoint regions where quality improvement needs to occur and the improve customer satisfaction and increased quality. A quality survey can be conducted by distributing the forms to the customers or by interviewing them. How the quality survey is conducted. A reference standard helps to define the activities that are needed to achieve quality objectives, provide criteria for evaluation and thereby increase the objectivity of the audits. A regulatory bodies issuing the standard surveys are ISO 9000 series, BS 5750 and MILQ 9858A. Product quality audit. So now we have listened quality assurance. Then now we are saying the product quality audit. The product quality auditing is an independent evaluation of a product quality to determine fitness of the product for use and conformance to the specifications. Product auditing takes place after inspections have been completed. This is the role of a product audit. Product quality audit. The purpose of product quality auditing includes establishing the quality level as delivered to customers, evaluating the effectiveness of inspection decisions in determining the conformance to specification, providing information useful in improving the outgoing product quality levels. The main task in the product audit is sampling for inspecting defects in a product. For products manufactured by mass production, sample size is determined by statistical procedures. For product manufactured as large unit such as automobiles, the number of units might be small, but the total number of characteristics that are sampled becomes very large. However, certain products demand independent sampling, for example, drugs. Recognition of quality effects. The quality affects a supplier's economy in the following two principal ways. Effect on cost. With respect to its effect on cost, the word quality is used in the sense of freedom from deficiencies. In this sense, higher the quality means lower the cost, as the defects are minimized. The cost of poor quality affects two parties, that manufacturer and user. Here I would like to explain about the use of by producing good quality materials, it will affect both the manufacturer as user. For manufacturer, the rejection levels will be reduced and rework levels will be reduced and waste also reduced, so that the manufacturer gains here. As well as in the users, he feel happy, without having any deficiencies. That's why the users or the customers feels happy. Recognition of quality effects. Manufacturer suffers loss as a result of waste of materials, labor time and processing. If any quality loss means it's not working, the product produced are not good, then manufacturers suffer losses as a result of waste of materials and labor time also wastages and processing cost also takes place. Poor quality also increases the cost of the user of the product in the form of repair costs after warranty period, various losses due to downtime, etc. Then the effect on income. With respect to its effect on income, the quality is used in the sense of the features of the product which respect to the customer needs. Those features make the product saleable and provide product satisfaction to the customer. With superior quality, the company can earn higher share of market, firmer prices, a higher percentage of successful bids and still other benefits of income. If the quality improves, there are various benefits to the manufacturer. The effects of improved quality. by improving quality overall the product or the processes, the increased production will take place, so that it will improve the efficiency of the company. Then reduction in scrap and rework will take place, so that the cost will be reduced. Then increased sales of goods quality product. So if a quality product is produced, the sales automatically increases. Reputation of the manufacturer and goodwill of the customer also takes place. Psychological stability in the enterprises also takes place. With this, I would like to conclude here. Learners, I hope you understand about quality assurance, quality audit, various types of audits, and quality survey, product audit, and various quality effects. Learners, in the first week you have listened 3 videos and studied 1 unit or chapter. Now you have to attempt the assignment. It consists of objective type multiple choice questions and small answer questions. Its weightage is 30%. Moving towards week 2. I wish you all the best. Thank you.